Do you have any hidden talents? I can play guitar. I haven't played in a while, but I can play guitar. One of the other things that I can do is this. So I can do that. When I used to play on the playground, all the kids used to ask me how to do it, and I would teach them how to do it. So I don't know what I would use it for, but I can do it. Have you ever seriously considered quitting social media? At this point, I haven't considered quitting. I really enjoy it. I now do this full time, so I'm super excited about my job. It's what I love to do. So at this point, I have not considered quitting. If you could find out one thing about your future, what would it be? I think I would want to know if I went any further than social media, like having my own TV show, because that is something that I really want to have, is my own TV show. So I would like to know if that happens in the future. If you could have your dream vacation, where would you go and what would you do? So I'm a big kid at heart, and I love to go to theme parks. I have 5 kids and my husband, and we like to do that sort of thing. So I would love to take a tour of a bunch of different theme parks and be able to have that little pass where you bypass all the lines and get on each of the rides. I'm also a Disney person and a Universal Studios person, so I would love to hit those, especially the Disney all around the world, which would be super, super cool. So that would be my dream vacation. If you could meet 3 people, dead or alive, who would you want to meet? So one of the people I would love to meet would be Elvis Presley. I have loved Elvis Presley since I was a young kid, and he was before my time. But I think his music is awesome, and I love that he did movies and music, and I would just love to talk to him and ask him questions. Another person that I would love to talk to would be Lucille Ball. One of my favorite comedians growing up. I loved her TV show. I think she did wonders, and she set a pathway for women in comedy. And I would also love to meet Carol Burnett. She's another comedian that I love, truly love. And when I was growing up, I used to watch her TV show and all her sketch comedies. And part of the reason why I do what I do is because of her. If you were stranded on an island and could only take 3 objects, what would you take? Okay, so of course I would have some sort of knife, right? Because you have to cut things up. So I would definitely need a knife, a big one. I think I would need something to light fire. So maybe, I guess you call it flint. I would need that. I would say matches, but my match supply would run out. So I would want something that I could continue to make fire with. And then number 3, I would want to take my husband, because I would have to have him do things for me, because he does a lot of things for me. So if I needed somebody to climb up a tree or something like that and get us some coconuts so that we could have a nice coconut drink. If you ever watch Gilligan's Island, you know what I'm talking about. I would have to definitely take him to do all the hard labor. What advice would you give your past self? I think if I was giving myself advice, especially when I was a young girl, like a teenager and stuff like that, I would tell myself, don't worry about what other people think of you. Their opinions don't matter. The only opinion that matters is what you think about yourself. Don't let what they say make such an impression on you, because I did do that when I was growing up. Anything that somebody said to me, I took it to heart, and I think the best advice I could give is just don't even care what other people think about you, because once you let that set in, it deters you from doing what you want to do. So who cares what they think? What advice would you have for someone who wants to be a social media creator? I would tell anyone who wants to be a social media creator that you have to learn to develop a thick skin, because sometimes people are going to say things that might hurt your feelings, and you really can't take any of that to heart, because all of the things that they say about you that are bad is a reflection on them and not about you. So if you're going to be a social media creator, you have to develop a thick skin and let all of that just not even matter. So that's the best advice I can give for that. What are your favorite movies of all time? Okay, so I totally love the movie Clueless. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. Alicia Silverstone is amazing in that movie. Everything about it is just iconic. Another movie that I dearly love is Dazed and Confused. If you have not watched it, please go watch it. It takes place in the 70s, but it was made in the 90s. And everything about that movie, like they have the costumes correct. The music in it is wonderful. So I totally love that movie. The third movie that I truly love is Just One of the Guys. That's from the 80s. And that movie, Terry, she is a girl who wants to become a newspaper writer, and her school doesn't really like the article that she wrote, so she wants to win this contest. So she goes to this other school and she poses as a boy. She dresses up as a boy, and she pretends to be a student there. And who would have thought, like 30 plus years later, I'd be making my own videos where I also dress up as a male character, lots of different male characters and female characters. What is your biggest pet peeve? So I have this issue with sound, and one of the things, there's two things I guess that kind of go together that have to do with eating, is the sound of chewing when somebody chomps their food. And when they slide their fork against their teeth, it really irks me. So if you ever want to get on my nerves, you can do that. What would be the one superpower you would choose to have? Oh my gosh, there's so many. Like, do I pick something with strength? I think I would choose, right now, I think I would choose invisibility. I think with invisibility, I could go anywhere that I wanted to go. I could do anything that I wanted to do, becoming invisible. So I think that would work, right? But I just want to be super strong. Okay, I'm gonna go with invisibility. When did you first go viral? I first went viral, I believe, in late of 2020. And I had a video of when I was a young child going to the convenience store and buying cigarettes for my mom. This was a thing in the 80s. They would send us to the store to buy their cigarettes or to buy their alcohol. And I lived in a small town, so it was totally, everybody knew everybody. So I would just go up and and the video, I asked to buy it and she gave it to me, and it went totally viral because a lot of people who grew up in the 80s remember doing that. And those who didn't grow up in the 80s were like in awe that we were allowed to do that. And then I just kept going from there. What is your favorite holiday? I have two holidays that I love, and it's between Halloween and Christmas, but my most favorite holiday is Christmas. I love everything about Christmas. I love the Christmas music. I love decorating. I love the feel. I love having family around. Giving gifts is awesome. But there's just this special feeling when it's Christmas time. And I kind of get depressed on December 26th. Every year on December 26th, I'm so sad because Christmas is over as far as the holiday portion of it. But, we keep the lights on until after the Epiphany, and, it makes me feel better. Who are your role models? My role models are two of the greatest comedians in the world, is Carol Burnett and Lucille Ball. Just some of the funniest women that you'll ever see on TV. I grew up watching both of them, and they were a big inspiration for me, especially being female comedians. I loved everything about Carol Burnett's sketch comedies. She just did all these different sketches. That's why I kind of do what I do. And Lucille Ball, she was amazing. She wasn't afraid to act silly, and Carol Burnett either. They acted silly, but they were these beautiful women who did it, and I love them for doing what they did, because this is why I chose to do what I do now. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everybody who watches my videos and follows me and subscribes to me, and I hope to continue doing this for a very long time. And I hope that if you are out there and you want to pursue this, that you just do it and don't care what anybody else thinks. Just follow your dreams.